Hello everyone and welcome to KazooCast episode number 5. Today we've got some awesome guests here. Up in the top left up here we have James Clark, host of Super Live Gaming on YouTube. Right above me, John from SpawnWave Media and on YouTube, and over to the left over here, we have Relyea. Hey, from the channel Relyea on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
So thanks everybody for joining us today for the very start. If you're watching this on replay, hello, welcome, welcome to the channel, welcome to the podcast. And so with that, I think we'll ask everyone, what's everyone been playing this week?
Did you want?
I can. I don't know. You want to go first?
No, go ahead.
Let's say I've been playing Octopath Traveler, Dead Cells, Mega Man X Legacy Collection, Titan Quest, and then Halo when I get time.
There you go.
Pretty much a little bit of everything, really.
I've been playing Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon 2, Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U, and A Link Between Worlds for the Nintendo 3DS.
Oh, I like that game.
Oh,
Actually,
really?
That's awesome.
Link
Good
Between
game,
Worlds? Yeah. How's that?
It's great. It's
Yeah.
great. It's a nice nod to the to A Link to the Past,
yeah,
but
the past.
you know, it's got its own, you know, unique original story and perspective.
Definitely. It's pretty cool.
Very cool.
I enjoyed that game when I played it. I never beat it though, because I would always I would get to the boss and then I was like stuck.
That actually has a pretty good twist, surprise ending towards the end.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting. It's one of the only Zelda games I remember that actually has that.
Oh, really? What about you, Relyea?
Yeah.
What have you been?
I've been doing the weekly Mario Kart 8 Deluxe live stream with my wife. We did what did we play? I got a review copy of Life Goes On, just released on the Nintendo Switch. Dabble with Octopath Traveler. I've been getting really into Hollow Knight again. It's super fun game. I really enjoy Hollow Knight. And what else did I play? A little bit of Octopath Traveler. I've been dabbling a little bit with it. I feel like I want to sit down and really dive into the story when I have some time for it. And just now is not right that time, but I'll get back into that later. So yeah.
Nice, that's awesome. I've been doing a lot of Splatoon lately, like grinding on ranked and which I'm really bad at, but it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, what did I play anything else? Oh yeah, I played on Thursday with some friends. I played Kazoo. If anyone knows what that is, it's okay. Sorry, it's raining outside. The thunder is really loud. But yeah, I played Kazoo, which is like a card game. So, I mean, it's still a game, right? It counts. It's fine. But yes, that was one of them. And I really enjoy that game. It's like a lot of I don't know, it's about corrupt government officials or just government officials. I don't know.
Interesting.
Because is there really a difference? But anyway, yeah, it's pretty good. So anyway, we got some good topics to get into today. So I don't know if you guys have heard about the kind of controversy that Pokemon that has befell Pokemon.
Are people not happy about Pokemon?
Yeah, people.
Yeah, what is Pokemon again?
Wait, what?
I was like, what's Pokemon again?
Oh yeah, what's Pokemon again? I don't know.
Fun.
Well, I think one of the reasons why they're going the route that they're taking with Pokemon is that they're trying to, one, think outside of the box in regards to the franchise, and number two, they want to try and get more, more, people interested into the franchise. So by doing what they're doing now, integrating, the Pokemon Go app with, Pokemon, Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, they're hoping to bring more players into the Pokemon franchise.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to bring in the casual market. And sorry, I'm just trying to, I don't understand this. Sorry.
I mean, we're still getting a new Pokemon game in 2019.
Yes.
And that's supposed to be your usual, mainstream, RPG style Pokemon game. That we know is going to happen.
I feel like I understand why they are taking the steps of what they're doing, like why we're starting at the very beginning and they're doing a remake of Yellow, is I think they're really trying to hit that nostalgia factor, and they're trying to target me. Like, I haven't played Pokemon since like the first 2 generations. I played Red and Blue, and then I think I played Ruby, and then I fell off. And so now Pokemon's kind of went on without me. Like, shinies like weren't really a thing back in the day. IV hunting was like, it was in there, but like I didn't know what that was when I was like 8 years old playing the game. And so by bringing it back to this old nostalgic area where I've got my daughter who's 6 years old, I let her play Pokemon Go. Like, now I can take her back to my childhood of Pokemon where it's familiar to me, and I'm not dealing with 800 Pokemon with 1,000 different types of items and different things that those do. And I think it reduces a lot of the clutter and noise of the game, of the things that make it intimidating. Like, I can go back there now and share that, and it's easier. So not just the Pokemon Go players, but also the people who haven't played it in a while.
Yeah, and then they want you to stick around for next year.
Exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
that is true. Yeah, they wanna get you into the
cycle.
into the series.
Yeah,
now.
they're hoping that once they get you in, you're stuck. That's what they want. They're hoping that you just get addicted to it. But I mean, there's 800 million people have downloaded Pokemon Go at this point. So they're hoping they could get even 1% of that, and it's 8 million. So if they can even get that and have all those people buy Switches in the game, then they're golden then.
Yeah, and even with their daily, monthly active users is 65 million. So even with the people who are consistently playing it still after a year, it came out last summer, in July, if I remember right. So yeah, I mean, that's a long time for people to continue to play the game. So yeah, I think you're right. They're gonna do well. It's gonna be a console mover.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Japan will like shut down for the day. It'll be like a holiday.
Yes. They won't have enough in stores to keep in stock. I mean, they'll probably sell out of it.
What?
But it's digital now. The way that things are with digital, we don't have to rely on GameStop keeping enough copies. Like, it's anybody who wants it just downloads it. It's simple.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that is true.
They'll probably do those. They usually, I know in Japan they'll do like you can buy a double pack where you can get both of them at the same time in Japan. So they might even have those. Yeah, like they did that with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I think, where you could get both of them as one SKU. They just came together. They've done that with a couple games. Like I know Square did that with Dragon Quest 11. You could buy a 3DS and the PS4 game, and they came together in one pack.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like that. I guess Sony and
nice
Square and everybody got together and did that. So it's kind of funny. But you'll see that though. They'll. I mean, it'll be like Pokemon Day when that comes out in Japan. So
yeah.
So yeah, and I had written down here like because they said that the capturing mechanics are easier, like, so it'll make it more like Pokemon Go, which we talked about that, but also because it was too hard, and they said that they want to implement different mechanics or else the gameplay will stale, which I would think I would agree with that. Like I would think that's true. But at the same time, I can also kind of see why people want the old gameplay. But
well, one of the things that they did that probably stirred up, some will cause some waves, was the when you go to the gym, I guess you have to meet a certain requirement now before you can go and face off with the gym leader. Where in the past, it was, oh, I'm going to go face the gym leader, and then suddenly, you go into this battle, and then the gym leader, obviously hands it to you, and you're done, and you're like, oh man, I learned my lesson. I guess I better go back and either get a new Pokemon or do something else, level up or something,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, they're gonna try to the people are concerned to be like hand-holding experience basically all the way through. But I think it's pretty clear who it's targeted to anyway. So they probably want it to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's catered to the people who have Pokemon Go on their cell phone, but maybe have never played a Pokemon game on like console.
Yeah.
So and they want it to be easy for them to figure out.
Yeah, I would definitely think that that it's similar to that because of.
It's crazy that it's going to be more hand-holdy now than it was back when it first started with Red and Blue. Like with Red and Blue, like if you didn't know where to go, like you just kind of had to struggle with it.
Yeah.
Like I remember finding myself in what's the first cave that you have to get through? Is it Mount
Moon?
Yeah, it is Mount Moon. Okay, that's what I thought. So yeah, I went through Mount Moon completely blind in the dark because I didn't have the flash.
Man.
I didn't know. And then I finally I limped out of the cave, and then you end up having to battle Gary. Just because I didn't know that was going to be a thing, and then I was stuck because I saved somewhere in the cave on accident, and it was rough. My 8-year-old self was very sad. It was a sad day getting through that cave.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is it didn't hold your hand. It didn't say, oh, you need to go find this, or this is where it is. It wasn't a big red arrow saying go that way. So
Yeah.
I
mean that was the 90s. Gaming was different back then.
Yeah, you had to really figure out where you were trying to go.
No assist mode.
Yeah. I mean, now you can just take your cell phone out and look up the guide for it, Whereas back then you didn't really have that.
Yeah, which
different times.
Mm-hmm. You'd find the text pages that were like 200 pages long, and you're sitting there trying to read through it, like, oh, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, what was up with that? It was always like super small font or print or something,
Yeah.
Oh, really? I wasn't like. I didn't game very much back in the 90s, to be honest with you guys. But I can see where you're coming from. Oh, Chris says, wait, there's a wave to see in the cave? I learned that just now.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so, does anybody have any more thoughts on Pokemon before we move on? Well, actually, I do. So they said that the capture mechanic, they've made it easier. Did it really need to be easier? Like. Oh, shit.
What, for the capture mechanic? They might be concerned because if you're used to Pokemon Go and all of a sudden you have to like take down the Pokemon's HP and everything, and then you press a button to throw a ball, whereas they're used to actually just like flicking with their thumb to throw the ball, they might be confused. So that might be an easy. And also, of course, then you get you could sell the Pokeball accessory and just more money for them. So
that's true.
I think
there's
also
a little Pokeball Joy-Con.
I think also the fact that turn-based systems are slow, and that's just where part of it, right? So I mean, even Octopath Traveler, like I've gotten so used to like real-time games that going back to the turn-based system of Octopath Traveler, as much fun as it is, and as much like love I have for like Super Mario RPG and games like that, I'm just like, I got stuff to do. I don't have time to wait for you to attack, and then me to attack, and then you to attack. Let's go. And that's just where I'm at in my life. And so, like I said, I'll play Octopath more when I have time. But back to Pokemon, it's slow, and I think that they want to keep the pace of the game a little bit faster because people have a shorter attention span now than ever before. And again, it's keeping people into what they feel is common, fresh, familiar. They want it to feel familiar. So there you go.
I actually have a question, and it's in regards to the 2-player option. Do they actually go into detail how that's going to work exactly, where you have 2 players playing in the game?
I mean, I think they showed like trailers of it, but I don't think they explained it really. Maybe everyone just gets into the wild battle and you just start throwing Pokeballs. I don't know.
Well, right? Yeah. It's like, let's catch that one. Okay, you catch that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they did make it look like both people are going to be controlling a separate avatar on the map at the same time. So as far as how does the screen move with both of them at the same time, I'm not entirely sure. But you will both be capturing and throwing at least a Pokeball at the same Pokemon at the same time, which will presumably increase your chances of catching it. I don't know. I know as much as anybody else.
Apparently, the candies are in it from Pokemon or just Pokemon Go. Like the candies system will be in there, I guess. So I was trying to figure out how you level up your Pokemon if there's no wild battles. That's how you would do it. You just walk around in grass or a cave the whole time. You just fight wild Pokemon and level up. But I guess that's not how they're going to do it this time. So they said through trainer battles and candy is how you level up.
Oh, through candy and in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee?
Yeah, they mentioned candy like how it's in Pokemon Go.
Really?
Yep.
That's different. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah,
fun.
that's probably why a lot of the fandom's a little annoyed right now because it's a lot of Pokemon Go stuff in this. But they just gotta wait till next year.
Yeah. I mean, the core RPG is coming, so I don't know.
I don't think it would have been ready this year anyway. So
what?
And John, like you said in your video, I think you just released it today, right? As far as what you're saying about Pokemon Go, this could potentially even be a series.
Yeah, I think it is. I think they're gonna have I think they want Pokemon to be a yearly thing. Because before it was bi-yearly, and sometimes they'd get another one out the next year occasionally. But if they have 2 teams and one's working on Let's Go and the other one's working on the core, and they can just switch between the 2.
Yeah, like alternate between. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, because their offshoot games have always been underperforming in terms of sales. So like Mystery Dungeon and stuff like that.
Pokemon Snap.
If they could have basically like a Call of Duty situation where they have 3 different studios working on Call of Duty, and each team gets 3 years to work on it, but one comes out every year. If you have 2 different teams within Game Freak and the Pokemon Company and Nintendo working on 2 different series, they could sell 2 games every year, so 4 games every 2 years to us.
That would.
I would love to see if that results in having just like fan fatigue.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that will there be burnout
I mean, think about the fandom. They've been playing what is essentially the same mechanics, same gameplay since 1998.
Yep.
That's true.
And they still buy. People would come into the stores when I would run and work at some, and they would buy 4 or 5 copies because they have 2 kids, and each kid needs 2 copies, and the parent wants 1. So they would just they would spend a lot of money just buying Pokemon every single time it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because Pokemon it always releases with 2 games. So So then it would be.
Then they'll even come out with a 3rd one sometimes later. So
yeah, true. In every generation, there's at least 2.
Yeah, and that's not even including all the side games between Pokemon Quest and Pokemon Duel and Pokemon Magikarp Jump and Shuffle and blah blah blah. It's just like they do come out with a lot of games. Like even in between the hardcore whatever, or sorry, the core games. I shouldn't say hardcore. Like they put out a lot of stuff.
Yep, I mean Pokemon Quest was released recently, and Detective Pikachu, a lot of offshoots, other than the mainline or the streamline games.
I mean, Pokemon fans just love Pokemon. They'll buy cards and memorabilia and everything. So it's a series that works. So if they can come up with 2,
they're making money.
Yeah, they make a lot of money. If they come up with 2 really good series like that and just do it every other year, that's probably what they want. So
that would make a lot of sense.
That's why they I think that's why they went back to yellow so they could put Pikachu on the front.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Pikachu and Eevee.
Yeah, I figured they probably wanted to put Pikachu on the game.
Oh yeah, he's the most recognizable character from the series.
He is.
That's why he's a main Smash Brothers character on the roster every time.
Yeah, and it can
since the first one.
Yeah, can kind of tie back in there too, maybe. I don't know.
And then you'll probably see advertisements in Pokemon Go also, like when you open up your app after Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee come out, or they're coming up, you'll see advertisements probably in there too. So they're going to probably push it pretty hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could see that happening. I could see that.
But I'm probably buying, I think I'm buying both of them unless they get sent over. Which one of them might get sent? I don't know if they send both of them, but either way, I'll get that.
Too. Feel free to, you know.
I've already got mine on pre-order, so
yeah.
If they,
from what I've seen, they actually send them. That's one of the few games that they actually send physically out to people to review.
Really
interesting.
That's awesome.
One of the people I've talked to, they send them. They'll actually send you the physical copies of it. So.
Oh wow.
I wonder if they'll send you the one with the Joy-Con too. You know.
I don't know. Otherwise, I have to. I was going to pre-order one anyway because I was going to take it apart and check out the insides.
Oh,
of
you were
it,
going to take it apart, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Either way,
I'll
take everything
than
apart,
a regular
right?
Joy-Con.
Yeah. I don't know about. I mean, I'm definitely gonna buy it, but I don't know. I still don't know which version to get because I'm not getting.
Yeah, which
both.
version do you guys think is gonna sell the best out of Eevee or Pikachu?
Oh man, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. I'm gonna say Pikachu. I think Pikachu will sell the most.
I think so too.
Sure.
I think Eevee is more popular in like the Pokemon fandom.
Yeah,
like,
it's
with people,
Eevee is like more niche almost.
But I do think the mass public is gonna see Pikachu and be like, I'll buy that one.
I've already heard a lot of people say, oh, I'm gonna pick Eevee because then depending on where I'm at, I can evolve it into whatever I want. Just like do a little more research. I'm pretty sure you're not able to evolve that starter Pokemon.
It says it's like they don't want to evolve.
Yeah.
So you're stuck with boring
funny.
Eevee.
Yeah,
exactly.
No Eevee love here.
Yeah, I really like Eevee because I think it's really cute, but I don't know. Pikachu is also cute, so I don't know.
Yeah, but everyone wants to evolve Eevee into like the monstrous Pokemon after him, like a Jolteon or something basically good in battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think anyone like goes, I'm gonna level up Eevee to 99 and then go take him to like the Elite Four and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on.
Do you guys think it's coming out too close? Do you guys think it's coming out too close to Smash Bros?
Oh.
It's coming out 3 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks before then.
Yeah, that is true. Well, I was, well, first off, I was very surprised we are actually getting a Smash Brothers this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For the Switch, that was a big surprise there. But the, I think that's normal for the Pokemon franchise, isn't it? Where they normally do a November release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
November is almost always when they release. I'm actually surprised Smash is coming out in December. I thought it was gonna come out earlier.
Yeah.
I thought it was
going to come out
to
around the
coincide
online.
with the online service.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, both those games coming so close to release dates to each other, it may motivate consumers to go ahead and buy a Switch for their family. For the holidays.
Yeah, because
So
they'll be like,
I don't know.
there are these games on it,
I
and
don't know.
like all these other
Yeah,
awesome games too.
I
so
see them both as just
might as
being
well.
console movers, and they're just trying not to put the biggest titles in the same month. It seems like they try to do like one major one per month,
Yeah.
so that way they're not stepping on each other. Is 3 weeks enough? I think so. I think it will be enough because people who are getting Pokemon, I think they're still going to get Super Smash Brothers. Most people are going to get both. If you have a Nintendo Switch, unless the only reason was to get Pokemon, you're probably going to get Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, because
I am.
they're both system sellers.
Count me in.
So, I think right. Yeah, I mean, they're both. I would say they're both system sellers. So, if you got one and didn't get the other, that would be kind of weird. Yeah.
Well, unless you're just completely not a fan of Pokemon, no interest in Pokemon, I guess Smash Brothers would be the only game you would get. So
that's true. Yeah. No, that's definitely true. But yeah. So moving on to our next topic that we have today. As we've covered on the channel before, as we know from covering on the channel before, Best Buy Gamers Club Unlocked is going to be, or is ending. But also now we find out that Amazon has made another change in addition to the change that we heard about before, which was them not applying the 20% off pre-order discount to remasters and re-releases, but now they're also not having their UK customers get the £2 discount that they were having before. Now they don't get that, and that seems like it was that seems like the equivalent to the UK equivalent to the American 20% off deal. So now that the UK one is ending, like, it makes me wonder, like, is the American one, the 20% off deal, is that going to end too, or on pre-ordered games, or is it gonna, will it just?
Well, I'll be honest with you. The first time I've heard about this was through your channel and through your discussions. I hope that they don't take away the 20% off deal here stateside. I mean, it's a shame that they do that to all the other markets. I think that's kind of a, to the consumers there, either, they're not paying attention, or, maybe somebody doesn't, maybe they're not taking advantage of it. I'm not sure. I mean, there's probably a logical reason as to why Amazon chose to do that. But if we're getting a discount for remasters here stateside, I would hope that they would continue to honor that.
Wait, no, we're not. Or, I mean, maybe I didn't explain that well enough, but the remasters and re-releases, I believe that is worldwide. Like, that it's getting canceled.
Right. Yeah, they don't offer it to anyone anymore.
Right.
Basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then,
well, that's a shame.
Then I know. Then what I was saying was like the £2 discount thing for pre-orders. So basically, okay, sorry. The deal in the UK for games and Amazon Prime owners is that, or subscribers, is that you get £2 off like pre-ordered games. But now, of course, that doesn't apply to remasters and re-releases. But then in the US, it's that you get 20% off of pre-ordered games. So the UK one is ending, and it seems like the US equivalent is the 20% deal. So, like, I don't know how long that's gonna stay around. I just want to ask you guys what you thought about that.
I've got an unpopular opinion about it, and I think that it should go away, and it's because hear me out. I think we need to stop pre-ordering games so much. There are too many companies that are putting out half-baked games, and I think that part of it is that they're selling out so much on pre-orders, and then they don't feel the need to back up their games. We as gamers we're not getting full released games, or we're getting games that are half broken. Between The Division, which granted they worked on it, and it's I don't know if better is the right word, but they've been working on it and expanding it. No Man's Sky, one of the biggest overhauls of the game, but it took so long.
Yeah.
And there's so many people who pre-ordered the game and gave them money ahead of time. They're basically giving them a free loan to go and build their game. I don't know. I'm just kind of in the anti-pre-order camp as of right now, after those games and Destiny, and now Fallout 76 they had their pre-orders make their game like #1 in Amazon before we even saw anything about the game at E3. It's just like, wow, people are just they're pre-order happy. And so I don't know. I think taking away the 20% off, well, maybe people will stop pre-ordering so much, and maybe we'll get more fully finished games from companies.
That's a good point.
Actually doesn't make sense.
No, that's actually a very good point. And I never really looked at it that way. So that's actually a very good reason to not pre-order a game. I never looked at it that way. So that's actually a very good argument.
You're gonna see Amazon get rid of all of these benefits as we go along here. They've been walking it back for a while. They've been at one point, you know, you got I barely ever get 20% off anything. I don't think I got it off of the Wayfarer's edition. I didn't get it off of that. There have been several games that I've pre-ordered that I just don't get it off of at all. So it used to be a point where you had like a 2-week grace period when a game came out on Amazon. You got 20% off even after it came out.
Oh, really?
They got rid of that. Yeah, so they got rid of that. And now Best Buy backed off from it. So now there's
now there's no competition. So
yeah, I don't know why they would keep doing it at this point. No one.
It doesn't really make any sense to, because there's really no reason to.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's what happens when competition dries up. Yeah,
I don't think they make a whole lot of money off of games in general. At least not off the physical copies. I don't know what the I don't know how much margin there is.
When we went to the stores, when I would order, let's say the best company when it came to actually getting decent margins was Microsoft, and Nintendo was the worst.
Okay.
So for example, I think it might have been Smash on the Wii U when that came out. That cost us, we sold it for $60. It's a $60 game. We bought it after shipping for $53.50.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Because I know for Amazon, at least for their digital games, if you're an affiliate, they give you, this is like the highest percentage commission, they give 10% on digital products, and that includes games. And so I was wondering, okay, if they're doing 20% off and they're paying people 10% to sell the digital stuff, but even then, digital stuff, they have an unlimited supply. So I don't know. Sorry, I was thinking out loud, and the math still doesn't work. Like
that's why GameStop wants your trade in so bad. They don't make anything on the new stuff.
They don't make any money on
it's a losing proposition. I can't imagine how they're gonna stay alive. I don't know if any of you guys have seen some of the memes where like GameStop is looking for a buyer. Or essentially looking for somebody to buy them, and the meme basically says something like, "Oh, how the tables have turned! I'll give you $4.30."
We were excited whenever like a Gears of War or a Forza would come out, because Microsoft would sell us those for like $48 each.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Microsoft was great. They do that, and they do buyer protection. So like, you know, when you see those price drops happen for new games, like MLB was the worst. If you had MLB in your store from Sony, the show, and that dropped $20, you would have to eat that $20 because Sony wouldn't give you price protection. Microsoft gave you price protection. They did everything. So if it dropped in price, like let's say Gears of War 4 came out, it was 60, then like 2 months later it dropped to like 40. Microsoft would like reimburse you the $20.
That's great.
That's awesome.
That was
whereas like Sony and Nintendo didn't. So do you remember when the 3DS came out and it was $250?
Yeah.
They price dropped that thing to like $170.
Yeah.
I remember. I was one of the earliest adopters, and then they had to fix that right away. There were a lot of upset people.
There were some stores that had like 40 of those 3DSs on their shelves.
Yeah.
And they had to eat a massive amount of money because they dropped it so fast and they didn't get price protection on it.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't really like think about all the all of the
new
losses
systems
from like stores and
new
whatnot.
systems. Stores lose money on new systems. You don't make any money on new systems.
Yep.
We would actually end up paying to get them. We have to pay to get them shipped in. So,
wow.
Yeah.
But I guess the logic behind that then just like once they have the new system, then like the new game.
Well, usually the idea is when someone buys a system, they're going to buy a used game or they're going to buy a control. We'd make money on controllers and headsets, and you would always sell a headset to somebody who's buying like an Xbox. You'd always be like, you need a headset, right? Yeah, okay. And then there were ways to find, we would find like Amazon deals for like, 12-month cards and stuff and get them for like $35 and everything, so. And you'd always sell Xbox Live with an Xbox also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there were ways around it. The idea was to get them to the register with that, and then start tacking stuff on for Christmas time.
Oh. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, like once you have the thing like the console like in there, then you,
a lot of people don't like ordering their system online because if they have the money for it, they want the system right then and there. They want it like now. So if there's a place they can go and get it, they want to go to the store and get it now. So
that makes sense. I mean, I guess that makes sense. But yeah. So if does anybody have any oh, that's right. That's what I was gonna ask. So I was gonna ask you guys if you thought that, like, what if Amazon were to buy GameStop?
Would they buy GameStop? I don't know if they would buy GameStop though.
What if they?
Somebody's interested in GameStop though, which is weird. Someone's interested in them because they talked about how they're negotiating with someone right now.
Yeah.
So I heard that a lot. I heard Amazon getting thrown around a lot. Amazon could.
Like, what if it is Amazon? Like,
I mean, they could. I don't know if they. I don't know why they would though. That'd be weird. That seems like throwing their money down like a hole.
I know that. I mean, you have brick and mortar stores that you have when you're buying the GameStop brand, you have employees, you have brick and mortar stores, and then you have all that inventory.
That is true.
That you have to now concern yourself with, and then you now have to figure out a way to sell that to the consumer. And not only that, what is GameStop selling now? Well, they got ThinkGeek. They sell cell phones now. And then all of that pre-owned inventory, you have to find ways to, like, if it's damaged or broken or if it needs to be refurbished, now you have to look into repairing those or possibly putting them back on the market so you can sell that to the consumer and make a profit for it. So there's a lot of things that you have to factor in, and I don't know, I really don't see Amazon doing that. I think it's probably more beneficial for Amazon to stay where they're at right now because their success story is that they are the biggest online retailer in existence right now.
Yeah.
I mean there are other online e-commerce sites outside of the US like Alibaba that compete with Amazon, but Amazon is fine where they're at right now. I really don't see them buying GameStop personally.
On the flip side, Amazon did buy Whole Foods.
They did. You're right.
I'm not saying that that means that there is a potential for them to buy this, but it made sense for them to buy Whole Foods, and that's because they're also doing the whole pantry thing, right?
Yeah.
They're shipping goods to people's homes, and they're trying to do it within 2 hours or something like that, same day delivery essentially. And by having a bunch of different stores, I think that just furthers that. Is buying GameStop a strategic thing for Amazon? Potentially, if they can figure out how to tie it in with esports and everything else that's going on with the whole gaming in general and the boom of gaming that we're in. We're kind of in like this interesting spot with the whole esports taking off. So, and just the how easy it is for anybody to just stream on Twitch and YouTube and whatever else. It's interesting. It's interesting. Sorry, that kind of took a couple of weird little turns there. I think that there's a potential. That's all I'm trying to say. I wouldn't completely shut it out.
Yeah.
Well, if Amazon did buy it, who knows? Maybe they'll transfer everything over to to e-commerce and close the stores. Who knows? I don't know. I just see that how they've been so successful with e-commerce, and Whole Foods made sense. As you had mentioned with the whole pantry and the delivery, but GameStop, those are brick and mortar stores.
It's different.
It's there's a cost there.
Yep.
There's a cost and a loss.
Yep.
I like the idea though, because then maybe we could use our store credit on Amazon.
That'd be great. Oh, That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got a lot of store
the
credit I
$2
use.
you got for the 4 games you turned in.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they would be able to tie it in with esports and everything like that. Like, I don't know, what could they?
I mean, technically, they kind of do that now a bit, don't they? Because they essentially own Twitch now, so don't they like flash games in front of you when people are playing them on stream and everything now to get you to buy them?
Yeah, the people who are partnered, either affiliated or partnered, they can have ads on their channel, right? So yeah.
Well, no, they don't have. I mean, everyone on Twitch has ads on their channel, but if you're affiliated, you
share in the revenue.
Like you get it. Oh yeah, you're right.
You like a cut, yeah, like that. I thought there was a thing where if you go and buy a game while you're on their channel or something,
there
they
is.
get a,
yeah,
like,
there
a
is that. If you go,
if
you buy a game, I don't think you have to be partnered, but yeah, or I think I don't know. I don't know if you have to be partnered or I think you just have to be affiliated. I think it's just affiliated. And then yeah, if somebody buys the game, then you get like a cut of that. I don't know how much, but yeah. So it's pretty interesting. So another thing I wanted to talk about was Nintendo's stock and like the analyst predictions that came out from I think it was My Nintendo News. So one Wall Street analyst, Atul Goyal, sorry if I butchered that name, now predicts that Nintendo's stock price will be about $577, which is down from its target of $640. Now, Nintendo has seen a lot of growth in their stock these past few months, which is likely due to having, has seen not a lot of growth. Not seen a lot of growth, is what I meant to say. And that's likely due to not having announced a ton of system sellers. Like they've got, Smash Bros, Pokemon, but really the only new thing that they showed at E3 was Super Mario Party, and I wouldn't really call it a system seller, but anyway, my question for you guys is, if they had announced like Pikmin or Animal Crossing or one of those type of titles, like would that have helped? I don't feel like so far they've really topped their first year, and I definitely feel like they kind of can't, seeing as both Mario and Zelda came out already. So
I wouldn't underestimate Super Smash Brothers and Pokemon. I think that those are two really big powerhouses, and
that's true.
Granted, the Nintendo Switch, its first year, Nintendo fans were starving for a good system and good content. I didn't buy a Wii U, and I didn't buy a Wii. I think that our family had a Wii, and so I did play some of those games. But I've been out of Nintendo for a while. I've been pretty much purely Xbox for a good couple of years.
Oh, really?
But I've always had my ear to the ground for Nintendo. I mean, I grew up with Nintendo up through Nintendo 64 and GameCube, and then I think from GameCube, yeah, it fell off for a little bit. So it's been a while, and I think that I'm not the only one, and I don't represent everybody either. But I think that the Nintendo Switch is a powerhouse of a console compared to the last two, and the portability and all the other stuff that goes with it. That said, I think that each of these games have a really big, huge fan base, and so yeah, I think that we're gonna see more. I think we're gonna see a lot of sales. I think it's gonna be a really good Christmas, and yeah, I can't believe that they're gonna have a down stock after Christmas. You know what I mean? I don't see.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't know. I guess my main question with that is like, does it really matter what an analyst predicts their stock to be? Like, I guess it's like, cause I guess it's just one analyst. But
well, if you're an owner of stock in a company, then what a stock analyst has to say is you want to pay attention to that.
That's true.
I think one of the biggest problems that we had going into this E3 this past June was that there were a lot of expectations.
Yeah, expectations
a
were
lot
too
of
high.
hype. I mean, we had a podcast prior to it where we were talking about, hey, what do we all think that Nintendo's going to announce at this year's E3? And we've got a whole lot of and Super Smash Brothers, and that was obviously the biggest news for the entire direct that we got as far as the presentation was concerned. But the other big news was dropped a couple of weeks prior to that with the Let's Go Pokemon announcement with that trailer. So we were going into that E3 with a lot of expectations with Nintendo, and I think because the direct didn't have a lot of what people were expecting, you saw that drop in their stock right after the direct. I think over time, as Relyea has just said, when we get closer to those releases with Let's Go Pikachu and Super Smash Brothers, you're going to see that stock rise right back up, and because you're going to see more consumers wanting to buy a Nintendo Switch. They want to they're going to be adopters of this console because they got the Pokemon game coming out in November, and then of course Smash Brothers. And what is that going to open them up to? Well, it's going to open up to a lot of other games. I mean, we've already got Zelda, Mario, and other games for the console that will that they'll probably be interested in purchasing as well.
I definitely think that their stock is not gonna stay at where it is now. Definitely think it's gonna go up.
YellowKazoo, I got a question for you. Is part of your question, as gamers, should we worry about what the stock price is doing? Is that kind of what the question is?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah,
as a gamer,
Sorry
I'd say no. They're predicting what stock analysts are doing is they're trying to predict how well a game is going to do. I don't think they couldn't have possibly predicted how well Pokemon Go did.
No.
Right? And if you look at the stock charts before and after Pokemon Go was released, Pokemon Go it jumped.
Oh yeah.
And if for us gamers, if you knew anything about Pokemon and whatever else, you probably knew that that was going to sell a lot. But I don't think I don't know.
Oh yeah,
but
they didn't know. I get
what
what
the stock
saying.
analysts say with a grain of salt. I don't know. And what does that mean as far as games? Even if the stock started to drop because they missed estimates and whatever else, Nintendo still has a bunch of games in the pipeline that we aren't privy to, et cetera, et cetera. So as a gamer, I wouldn't pay attention to it.
Well, Tuesday they're gonna tell us how many Switches they've sold through June 30th.
Ooh, that'll be fun. That'll be a good number.
That'll affect the stock prices.
Yeah,
and wouldn't it be cool if Nintendo had a direct in a little bit and told us about some cool games that aren't announced yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
no, actually.
That would be awesome.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool if they did that.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas, John, as far as what you predict as far as the Nintendo Direct concerned? I mean, I know there's one probably coming up really soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's at least one third-party game that'll be pretty interesting to see how people react to it, and then there's at least two first-party games one's going to sell really well, and one of them's coming out this year too. The first-party ones.
So you know about some of them?
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
Oh,
that's awesome.
It's going to be interesting, though. I'm curious about the first-party game that they're going to announce to see what people think about that.
Yeah.
People will probably be annoyed.
Oh.
But it'll sell. I think people are annoyed about Pokemon Let's Go, but it'll still sell. It'll still sell. Yeah.
Actually, I was going to say, brings us into our next topic. Is there a Nintendo Direct coming up? So, Kimishima, even though he's not the president anymore, does he still work in Nintendo? Like,
he fell into an advisory role.
I thought, okay, oh, he's in an advisory role. Okay, I thought he was like retiring, or is he just like transitioning into retirement? Or
yeah, I think he's transitioning into it. He's kind of older, but he's helping. I think he'll probably help out for like the next 6 months to a year, just helping out them as he goes. But he's not like in the main spotlight anymore.
Okay, yeah. Well, he actually said at the shareholders meeting that that Nintendo has not revealed their full 2018 lineup yet. So that makes me think, like, is the new Labo what he was referencing, the new like vehicle kit, like Toy-Con 03 Labo, like, is that what he was referencing? And like, then with that also, is there, like, if not, like, is there also a direct coming? But
well, there's always going to be a direct coming.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, in the near future, you know, like.
Right. I know what you meant. Yeah. Well, as far as the Nintendo Labo goes, I think I don't think that's going to be the big news. I mean, they might talk about Nintendo Labo during the Nintendo Direct, but I don't think that's going to be the biggest news or the big first party news that they're going to drop. I think it might be something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, as John just said, there's games that have yet to been released and announced, and this, that, and the other. Some of them first party games usually get announced at a direct, and even just based on the online stuff not getting like fully released yet, I imagine we'll get new news on the online stuff. Like, I would imagine we're gonna get a direct before we get the online stuff.
I would hope
pure
so,
speculation.
because they still, I think they still have stuff that they need to tell us about for that.
Half-Life 3, you know.
Yeah, you'll see. You're probably gonna see 2 directs. Probably in the next 3 weeks, I think.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
One's gonna be an indie. It's gonna be an indies one. One's gonna be an indies.
Right. Yeah. Nintendo's been very good to the indie developers.
Yeah.
And then the other one's gonna be their main one. That's why you haven't seen the release date for Dark Souls yet.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I was wondering, like, where has that been?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
because Nintendo's they're looking to do something like 20 indie games per month or something like that.
No, they want
like
20 indie games a week.
Oh, per week. There you go. Per week. Yeah. Sorry.
They have like this upcoming release schedule, and I'm looking at this list and I'm like, oh my god! And you just look up upcoming list of upcoming Nintendo Switch games 2018, 2019, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
How many games are on that list? I think there was a news article where they said there are now 900 games available for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Whether it's physical or digital.
But how many of them are really good?
Right. Exactly. So not all of them are good. We know that, but it's just there's just so many of them out there. It's just
wow. I wish the eShop would have a way for us to be able to find games a little bit better. Not just find them, but
they need a rating system.
Something.
Yes,
something,
absolutely. Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah. That's going
to be the Nintendo Direct.
What
the next Nintendo Direct? We are creating a rating system for the Nintendo eShop. Everybody will go crazy.
Oh, a rating system. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's some cool stuff they can do with their Direct. I think they'll do what they did with Fortnite with Warframe and release it at the same time as their Direct.
Oh, you think so?
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's an easy one to do.
Because Warframe would be a download game anyway, right?
Yeah. Well, they have to announce Panic Button. They have to announce that so Panic Button can talk about their next game that they're working on.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
Do you already know it, John?
Maybe.
You might already know Panic Button's next game. Oh man.
And
they work on a lot of games. I'll say
game, right?
Yeah, they would just say it's out now, like what they did with Fortnite. Hollow Knight was the same thing, except that was a paid for one. But I mean, how many people downloaded Fortnite overnight? Like 2 million people or something like that.
Ridiculous, yeah.
And another Yeah, did you guys hear that that Epic is worth like $8 billion now?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm surprised not more, to be honest.
Oh, really?
That's true. Yeah.
They just Fortnite just makes an obscene amount of money.
Yeah,
does.
Fortnite is quite the moneymaker, but
Yeah,
8
it's
billion
crazy
is
how many
still a lot.
updates they get.
Yeah.
Like on a weekly basis, they're always adding something new, and it just like makes me wonder, like why aren't other games updating as fast? I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. The next, I'd say, what was it, the 29th? The next month will be fun for Nintendo fans. I'm actually more curious to see how people react. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that'll be great because yeah, like I said, like it seems like next month is pretty empty, so it'll be great to be like, surprise, we've actually got all this stuff.
Last year their fall direct, they announced Doom and Wolfenstein too.
Yeah, they did
Right,
in September.
And Doom came out a few months later.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
they
that's
did
true.
that, and they had that direct, and then like a few weeks before they had the Nindies showcase.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
So yeah, like
There's
you
a
were
lot of
saying,
stuff
they
for the
would
indies they
probably
need to
do that
show, yeah.
again, huh?
Mm-hmm. Like Devolver Digital said they have 12 games to show. They've only shown 6 so far.
Okay.
So they don't. I mean, they have a lot of offshoot niche stuff, but like they have Metal Wolf Chaos. That'd be one I'd like to see them bring to the Switch. And that was the X. I don't know if you guys. That was the original Xbox game that released only in Japan and is worth like $200 or something.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. That's where the president of the United States like jumps in a big mech suit and starts like fighting everything.
That's awesome.
It was a pretty funny game. Yeah, it's worth a lot of money because it's an Xbox game. Xbox barely sold in Japan and it never left Japan.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really weird. But they have that. They have some other good ones too. But they would probably show up in their Nindies presentation. And Morphe's Law is another one. There's Crazy Justice.
My
yeah,
gosh, I've been waiting. I've been talking to them every once in a while. I'm like, come on, guys, let's go.
We were talking to. I was sending messages to Team Cherry all the time about Hollow Knight, and they were like, "No, keep waiting." And then it showed up in that direct, and I was like, "It's out now." All right, so I went and bought it while the direct was still going on.
Yeah,
someone in the chat was also asking about Morphe's Law. I saw. So.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's one that they have to. That's one that we need to release date for. So.
Yeah, they need to announce that. I guess and get a date.
I follow their Twitter account and I got the settings turned on. Every time they do anything, I'm just like, is it today? They just want our feedback on their screen image.
Yeah, that was a big deal to them too. They were like, we're gonna do something tomorrow, guys. Get ready. And it's like,
right, exactly. I'm like, ooh, something's tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're being held off though, like Team Cherry was for a direct or a Nindies thing.
Which is fine. It's good. It looks like it's going to be a fun game. And it seems like they've kind of changed the directions a couple of times. Not like completely or anything, but like with the style from what it was like really early on to kind of what they've showed us so far. It looks cool. I've got hopes for that game.
Yeah, looks interesting. It looks different. So
yeah, definitely.
It does. It looks really, the whole mechanic of like you like I forget what you do.
It's like different parts of you shrink
like
and
take
grow.
parts of it
cool.
and then like they like get bigger or smaller. And
it's pretty cool. Yeah. And Crazy Justice was supposed to release like last month. So I don't know what's going on there, but that's supposed to have crossplay between Xbox, PC, and Switch.
That's a game changer right there, man. The crossplay between the Nintendo consoles and the Xbox and PC, that right there. Sony needs to get on that, man.
Yeah, I know. Sony is just being I don't know what about that. Just not wanting to.
I mean, you can sign into Xbox Live on your Switch now.
What?
It makes sense from like back in the day, like you had all the separate consoles and they physically couldn't crossplay. It's just like, okay, they weren't online, right? So you had your different camps and my Nintendo's better than your PlayStation.
Yeah.
Okay, granted, makes sense. So that kind of, it started like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. If
And
they
then it
could have
went
done that
online.
from the beginning, if they could have crossplayed from the beginning, then probably it would have. I mean, maybe they would have been.
I feel like John would probably be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Xbox started the whole exclusivity thing, or at least maybe if they didn't start it, they definitely rubbed it in PlayStation's face. That's what it feels like as a gamer from what I vaguely remember. And so Xbox kind of threw the first rock, and then the whole exclusive thing kind of just built in on the consoles over the years. And now Xbox is like, hey, let's share. And PlayStation's like, no, I'm not going to share with you. And now all the fans are like, really, what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
And
there was a point, I think it was Defiance maybe, where Sony wanted to crossplay and Microsoft didn't want to.
That's see, yeah. I knew, yeah, exactly. And so, but now the tables have turned, and PlayStation's like, what they did?
Yeah,
they did it to me first. It's like another situation or something.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know if that's the best PR strategy, but
times have changed, but they're holding on, and that's part of the culture
they
too.
Are.
Yeah.
But also,
it's keeping them from getting the most updated version of Minecraft.
I guess they're like Sony's on top now, so they don't really have to. I guess I don't know.
That's pretty much why.
And then because then when Microsoft was on top, then they did that to Sony. But
Sony's install base is bigger than both the Xbox and the Switch combined, so they're like, why not? We'll just hang out over here.
Yep. I'm hoping it bites them though. I love it. I love it. I really do. Like I don't want to see anybody fail. I love all the consoles. I'm not like a big like console war person. I've owned pretty much all the consoles for a very long time, but it's fun. I don't know.
It's fun to like see
just kind of see what happens. Like you never know like what the reaction or because like we said, like Xbox did this to Sony forever ago, and people were like, meh, whatever, who cares? But now Sony does it, and everyone's upset.
Yeah,
it's fascinating to see how things change over.
It is. It's very interesting. It is very interesting. I agree. So what do you guys think about the new Labo?
I think it's probably a good product to to advertise towards kids that are looking to create something, build something and possibly expand that creative side, so it's a good market to get in, I guess.
Yeah,
it looks more in depth than the other ones that we had.
It
Maybe
does.
The robot kit might be a little more, but that looks interesting.
The game part of it looks a lot more fleshed out to me. I mean, I don't know, because we haven't seen that many trailers.
We were curious about the
it,
parents who bought like the variety kit, and now they're just laying around the house if they're gonna buy it again.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's like I don't know. I see it grabbing interest initially, but over time, that interest might wane, and like John said, it'll just be sitting there.
Yeah,
it seems like a game that would be fun to like build with your kids while it's like a rainy day or something like that. To be like, hey, let's do this. It'll be fun. But then after that rainy day or a couple days is over, then it seems like it would just get put away.
Exactly. Yeah, that was my problem with Labo to begin with. Just that, I mean, like that's why I personally like wouldn't buy it. But yeah, I don't know. And I was also wondering about like future Mario Kart compatibility, because as we know, the motorcycle is in the Mario Kart now. It has the support for that, and so I didn't know. I was wondering what you guys thought about a future Mario Kart title, or even Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. Like if it will get support for the vehicle kit in Labo.
Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U getting
or sorry, not
support?
for the Wii U, not for the Wii U. Sorry, I meant Mario Kart 8 for the Switch.
Oh,
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
I would hope
I
so.
don't
It
see
looks
it.
cool. I don't know. It's got the pedal and everything. They gave it to the other one, right? The standard bike. I don't know. That'd be kind of neat, I guess.
I don't see. I feel like the Labo. It's more of a Nintendo likes to show off the possibilities of their product. I don't know if it's so in that way. Maybe it has potential to be used outside of Nintendo. You know, because I don't know what I mean by that is with Xbox. You know how they had their like 3D bar for like the touch and whatever. What was that called? The Kinect, right?
Yeah.
The Kinect was something that was then used by like, I don't know, kids in college to build robots, and then they could use that for 3D whatever.
Oh.
I feel like Nintendo kind of shows off what their products can do, so that way people can go do other stuff with it. Potentially, right. I don't know. They use it as a hey, come check this out. Yeah. I don't know. I don't see it being used in other games.
Hey, third-party developers, this is what we're doing. Create something similar, or you can do this too.
Yeah.
Well, we have seen the like bootleg Labo stuff. Like
I haven't seen it. There's a bootleg Labo out there.
What?
There's a bootleg Labo out there. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
Yeah.
There's one like it's a guitar, and then the other one was like a little arcade cabinet thing.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
Didn't you build it on your channel, John?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I ordered them from China and built them. Yeah. Made Sean.
I'll have to check that out. I gotta watch that.
Yeah, I made Sean from RGT build them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do a bootleg Labo like from scratch with my daughter. Maybe that would be fun. I mean, we don't own the game or anything, but maybe we'll just make stuff and then attach a Joy-Con to it and I don't know.
See what happens.
Funny with it. Yeah. It'll be magic with this green screen. Anything can happen.
Yeah, right.
I gotta write that down. That's a great idea.
Yeah. So what? To build bootleg Labo with your daughter?
Yeah. I'm just wheels are turning for like funny stuff we could do where it's just like, oh, then we build this thing and now she's stomping around a city or I don't know.
There you go.
Well, I guess that's what they already have. Dang it. They already took that from me.
What?
You can already build a robot with Labo, but I don't know. Maybe we make a funny bootleg version of it where it's all like janky and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that would be a good idea for something to do with your daughter, like on your channel or whatever. Good idea. Now I was thinking, we might take some questions from the chat. Like, Blitz is asking if there will be a Switch Pro. What are your thoughts on that, John and James and Relyea?
Probably. We got a new 3DS.
Yeah.
XL and DS Lite. And,
yeah.
Game Boy Advance SP, and I mean the history says we will.
Yeah, Nintendo does always make revisions of their systems, pretty much.
I mean the DS Lite came out like a year after the original DS came out.
Yeah, I remember that.
True.
I saw rumors of it. I can't remember where I read it, but I've seen the rumors online already.
Well, I think the rumors are probably a result of the 0-day vulnerability that the Switch has right now, and Nintendo really does need to probably find a way to address that sooner rather than later. It has to do with the pin on the was it the left Joy-Con connection?
Yeah.
But it allows
it
allows somebody to bypass the securities and access the OS.
Yeah, and then you can basically like do anything then, or like
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
That's
but that was just a win for homebrewers, right? So that way people could like essentially create their own games and stuff, or
they made it Team Executor released something so you can just download games, so people have like Zelda, you download it and you just play it without owning it now.
Got it.
Okay. Well, that's I don't like that because that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Well, you're gonna have piracy everywhere. Stolen goods, pirated goods. That's every market.
Yeah.
And the video game market is no exception.
That's
so
true.
you're gonna see that everywhere.
Yeah,
true.
Nintendo usually does pretty good at, well, actually, Nintendo does a really bad job about keeping the pirated stuff off their stuff. I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, wow, I remember like the Wii, like a buddy of mine had like every game on it. He's just like, yeah, if you get a Wii, I'll hook you up. I got every game they ever made. I'm like,
yeah, the Wii was a good system to mod.
Yeah,
never did. Yeah, that was the Super Smash Brothers mod, right?
Yeah, Project M, and then people loaded up Quake and stuff on it. And...
Yep.
Crazy.
People loaded up. What did you say?
Quake and Doom
on the Wii.
Yeah,
because it was modded.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. It's pretty cool though. Oh yeah. I know we were talking about this a little bit before the podcast started, but Blitz asks again if we already discussed about the legal actions against the ROM sites. So, you guys want to just say your thoughts on that again?
Oh yeah, we discussed it earlier, and I wasn't privy to it. Apparently, Nintendo, this has been a regular thing for them. John and Relyea had said, "Oh yeah, Nintendo's been doing this for years."
Yeah.
But it's they it's just now coming more to light because people are talking about it now through social media and news sites. So
yeah, they took all the Nintendo games off of MU Paradise like 2 years ago, I think. So they go after ROM sites a lot, especially if you host like their Mario and that one site used like their assets to like set up their website. So they had like the question mark block, the the bullet bill, all things you click, and it's like, well, yeah, they're using all your stuff, and then they're feeding free pirated games to people. So
yeah.
So what I can't imagine, like I don't get, is like how they still have there's like Pokemon Uranium was like kicked off and like shut down like really quick a long time ago, but now what is the new one that's like Pokemon
Poke1.
Poke1, yeah.
Oh,
like
Poke1. Wait, that's an illegal thing? Oh.
Yeah, that's somebody who made a game with the name Pokemon in it, essentially, and you are a trainer and you catch Pokemon, and even if all the Pokemon were just like bootleg versions and like awkward like Aloha but different versions, like it's still so close that that's so not allowed.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that it's up.
Yeah, why is that up? I've seen people stream that.
Yeah. I think the most popular one right now is Phoenix Rising. If you guys have seen that, that's actually a pretty cool one to look at.
Yeah, it's like it sounds great. I want to check it out. I just wonder. I think as a user, I don't think that there's ramifications for it, but obviously it hurts the Pokemon brand.
Yeah.
Because one, they're not getting money for it, and two, if they do anything bad or it's detrimental,
it could damage their image.
Hurt them.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't. Yeah. So I'm just like looking for questions.
Right.
Sorry. Oh well, Deathwish Cassidy wants to know if question for you, Spawn. Does RGT live in an apartment located in your beard?
No. He lives 20 minutes away in Wilmington.
20 minutes away, dang.
In Delaware, yeah. Yeah, it's not too far away. Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I know. Like I meant like that's close.
That's pretty good. Yep. Not too bad.
Brandon says maybe it's time Princess Peach has her own game.
She had didn't she have one?
She did have she had Super
I think it was for the
Peach
DS.
on the DS, yeah. Yeah, she did. I remember there was a really interesting part of that game at the very end. I didn't play it, but I saw a YouTube video about it. And it was pretty odd, but so yeah, she has had her own game, and I would say it turned out odd. Chocolate says, is there any news on Bayonetta 3?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I haven't heard any news on Bayonetta 3.
Nothing yet.
Somebody was asking about voice chat support for Smash Ultimate. Nin Gilbert here says he wouldn't be surprised for friend rooms and things like that. Well, they did have, when you were in the lobby waiting for the match to start, they did have, voice chat available there. I don't know if they'll actually have voice chat while you're actually, in a match. I think that should probably be kept the way it is, personally. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, it feels like they abandoned that app at this point, right?
Yeah, it does seem like that because they don't use it anymore.
Yeah, and Fortnite has chat built into it.
Yeah.
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 So maybe that's the first Nintendo game where they build in chat.
Like maybe. Like why I mean, now we're going to be paying for online, so I feel like proper voice chat should come with that. Because yeah, I don't know, they're probably now just they just don't want to, I don't know. They don't want to dedicate any servers for voice chat or what?
No, you're right. If people are paying for the service, you'd figure at least voice chat, available to all developers would be a good option to have.
Yeah.
Or system level voice chat.
Yeah, system.
So,
if
you start up your system, you can send a message to a friend and they can jump in your room. Then you just have system level voice chat, like the 360 ad.
Brandon asks also if we think that the Smash 5 roster is complete.
Well, we know that all the all the characters from the previous Smash games will be featured in this game.
Right.
However, your starting roster will be
it's
10 characters.
16 or how
Oh,
many?
It's the
16.
Nintendo 64 starting characters.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go. And then you have to battle in matches in order to get access to all the remaining characters in the roster.
And there's
I thought they were asking if the characters that they've announced are all the characters that are going to be there.
Right.
Oh, I think there's still more characters they're going to announce. At least two more. At least two more.
Well, they didn't announce Simon Belmont yet, so
that's true. I don't know. I still hear a lot of talk. People really want to see Goku and Smash Brothers.
Oh
so.
gosh.
I know.
No.
I know. Everybody's talking about it though.
You know what? I would like them to do it just to see what the internet's like the next day.
I know.
True.
I want to see that.
True.
No, man, there's no April Fools before then, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true. That'd be true.
Great.
That's true. Oh man, they should have. Oh,
I mean, I guess they could announce more on April Fool's Day, and I'm sure somebody will leak something. So
Yep.
Yeah, April Fool's Day's predictions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
I learned it's best to just avoid the internet that day.
Yeah.
True.
What, you mean you can't get in your Guardian in Zelda Breath of the Wild and shoot it?
Well, you saw
Right?
that on
I
April
saw
1st.
that.
The person leaked the entirety of Pokemon Let's Go on 4chan, and it was completely right. But it was April 1st, so nobody believed it.
Oh wow! I did not know
great.
that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's so
people
On
funny.
4chan, huh?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, because no one believes 4chan anyway, and it was April 1st, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's gonna be Let's Go, and it's gonna be Pokemon Go integration and everything." And
Yeah.
right. People found it. It was exactly right.
So I wonder since Pokemon Go was obviously their Pokemon mobile game, I wonder how the new Animal Crossing will interact with the Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
I hope it doesn't.
You hope it doesn't?
Yeah, I'm on the same page as John here.
Yeah.
My wife and I are not a huge fan of the mobile app, honestly.
They have loot boxes in that.
Yeah, they do.
I assume people don't want that to be interacting with the main game, right?
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
No.
people, I mean, the
Please keep
nightmare
that up.
scenario. Yeah, the nightmare scenario is that loot boxes find their way into a Nintendo first-party game.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, no.
That you can buy. Technically, Xenoblade 2 has loot boxes, but there's no real money involved.
No.
Like to get your blade, you have to randomly roll for it.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. But
Yeah.
if there's no
But
real money
it's not actual
involved,
currency. Yeah, there's no real money or
then-
anything. So who cares? But
yeah.
yeah, that's the nightmare scenario I think for a lot of people is that Animal Crossing works with the Pocket Camp version, and people can drop $100 in one version, send everything to the other one, and they have everything.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, so I don't think they'll do that though. Nintendo is interesting about that. Although Reggie did have an interview where he doesn't see an issue with the idea of loot boxes, but he said they have to be done in the right way.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because then they got to worry about like where it's illegal in some places now. Like loot boxes are just like a straight no go, and I don't think that they want to fight legal battles and trying to navigate that with certain countries. So it's just easier to avoid it, I'd imagine. But
yeah,
Right.
Nintendo wants to be regarded as, you know, fun for all ages, and if somebody calls them out for having illegal gambling in their game, that's an issue.
Yeah, they're
So,
like,
I mean, Microsoft is like backpedaling badly right now on it. They just pulled them out of Forza 7, and they're not putting in Horizon 4.
oh. Yeah.
So
And then we know what happened to EA.
they still keep it in FIFA though. They're never gonna let that go. They're gonna have to be sued like crazy to pull it out of FIFA.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That makes them too much money. I think last year it made them $800 million.
Oh, my God.
That's
Just FIFA's loot boxes, yeah.
But isn't FIFA coming to the Switch? Is that one just not going to have loot boxes?
No, it hasn't. It hasn't. It's their Ultimate Team. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
just Nintendo. You were just saying Nintendo first party games.
Right. Yeah. Nintendo, like they make it internally, and then
Yeah.
they put, you know, random chance that you can put money into to you know, for advantage.
Yeah. Because, yeah, that definitely is gambling. I would think, at least.
Oh yeah, and people online are waiting for it to happen because there'll be a really big deal about it if it does happen, like on YouTube and, you know, Twitter and everything. So.
Oh. Blitz says, how about pachinko game for Switch? Because that's a form of gambling Japanese people do, even if it's kind of illegal.
well, yeah, I mean, but that's a different market though.
What?
You know.
Yeah. Like, what does that mean? What is that? I've never heard of it.
Oh, pachinko, it's just a chance game.
Oh, okay.
I'm not actually, now I have to look it up because now I'm second guessing myself.
Oh.
Chocolad was asking about our thoughts on the Super Mario Party game that's supposed to be coming out later this year.
Oh yeah. I think it looks fun, and it has the online multiplayer, right? Or is it? I was hearing that it was only online multiplayer in like certain like sections of it. Or is that true?
I don't think we know that much about it. I'm
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
I haven't played Mario Party in quite some time, so I'm not super hyped on it or anything in particular. That's
I think
The last Mario Party game I played was back when I had a Nintendo 64.
yeah. Same.
Mario Party 2, and yeah, that was it. I never played a Mario Party game after that, to be honest with you. I mean, there's obviously consumers, players who are interested in the Mario Party franchise. I mean, they're still making them.
Yeah.
It's not a Mario Party 11; they're calling it Super Mario Party for the Switch. So
Yeah, I guess they're probably trying to. It's like when Windows 8 came out and everybody hated Windows 8 with a passion, and so they completely skipped 9 and went to 10, and then so with this one, everybody hated Mario Party 10, and it was because it was like the worst one or whatever. So now they're just.
Oh, was it really? I never really actually played it, so I didn't realize it was that bad. Wow.
Everyone hated it. I never played it.
Oh,
I'm
gosh.
not gonna lie, but
Yeah, I've never played it either.
yeah. So, but yeah, So I guess they're just skipping. They're just ditching the number system entirely and just going to Super Mario Party to get to get the taste out of everyone's mouth, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Reggie's body is always ready. Just throwing that out there.
Yes. Always, Cassidy, always. They're going all out on the Switch. They are going, I mean, Chocolate says Nintendo needs to chill with the games. Did you guys hear that Mario Tennis Aces was it took #1 on Japan's sales charts?
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I must have missed that one. Yeah, that's wow.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was for like.
Well, if it happened before Octopath Traveler being released, then that makes absolute sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm sure it did.
Yeah,
I'm sure it did because that's like when it came out. Do we think there will be Mario Maker next year?
we were actually talking about this
we were
earlier before the podcast. Yeah, my thoughts on this is you have well, we just had Mario Odyssey released last year, and I'm thinking about this in cycles as far as development cycles work. Looking back on the Mario Galaxy franchise, you had a 3-year separation between the first Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2. You follow that up with Super Mario,
3D World?
I don't really... Super Mario 3D World. I think that was released back in 2013. Yeah, 2013. Before that, it was New Super Mario Brothers for the Wii U.
In 2012.
You're right. And then, so you have... like these development cycles. I'm thinking because you had Super Mario Odyssey released in 2017, we'll probably look at a new Super Mario game in 2020, which falls along the lines of the 35th anniversary for the franchise. So
yes.
I would see that happening instead of again, these are things that are speculative at this point. I don't know if Nintendo's going to come out with a new Super Mario Maker. I mean, it would make sense to come out with a new Super Mario Maker. Maybe they'll do that as part of the 35th anniversary for the Super Mario franchise, kind of like what they did with the first Super Mario Maker when the 30th anniversary came out.
With regards to your theory on the development cycle, don't you believe, or do you believe, that the team that's actually making the Mario games are working on like an actual new Mario game as opposed to a game that needs to get ported? I would imagine. I don't know exactly how this works. My guess is that whoever does the porting, that's probably a different team or a different group of people as opposed to the people who are developing a whole new game.
That's actually a good strategy. You could use existing assets that are utilized from the previous game and then just port it over to the new one. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I that would actually be a great idea. I hope Nintendo's listening.
Now, do you also think that because we seem to get like new Super Mario Bros. Titles kind of in between, like from the new series, like we seem to get those like in between the main like big 3D games. So. Do you think that we're going to see one of those within the next year or two?
That's hard to say. I know that they were talking about as far as the 2D versions or the side-scrolling platformers of Super Mario games, the new Super Mario Brothers series. They were one of the main developers was saying that they were going to go back to the drawing board with the franchise and really rethink how they were going to make that game. So I don't know. I mean, it within the next 2 to 3 years, we'll definitely see a new Super Mario game. I know that. That's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
As far as a new 2D side-scrolling, it's hard to say.
Yeah, from the new Super Mario.
I think we'll definitely see a 3D version, a 3D Mario game within the next 2 to 3 years. As far as the side-scrolling one, I couldn't tell you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely we'll be seeing a main like 3D one. But yeah, I don't, like you were saying, I don't know about the 2D one, but that would be interesting though. Let's see here. Yeah, Nemesis is saying about how the Mario Maker, how like it wouldn't like might not work as well, like because it's on the Switch and there's no touchscreen. But I mean, just like they have, like, look at what they did with Captain Toad. Like, I remember I was watching someone play that on the Switch, and you just use the gyroscope in the controller for the reticle. What is that called?
Reticle, the targeting reticle.
Oh, reticle. Okay.
Yeah.
I've never known how to say that. I've never heard anyone say it. So, but yeah. So yeah, for the reticle, like you could use like this to. But I don't know if that would be cumbersome. I mean, you could always just take the Switch out of handheld or into handheld mode, and then just put the elements that like build the level in handheld mode, and then like play it in TV mode. But I don't know if that would work.
Well, yes, I mean there are limitations as far as, you know, when they brought Captain Toad over to the Nintendo Switch. You know, you don't have that secondary touch screen to navigate through the, you know, through the screen, much the way you did with the Wii U version. I mean, they ported it over to the 3DS, and that allows the touch functionality. And interestingly enough, they're both priced the same. They're both $29.99, both the Switch version and the 3DS version of the game.
Of what?
So, Captain
Toad. Wait, are they really
Treasure
only
Tracker.
$29.99?
Either $29.99 or $39.99.
I think it's $39.99.
Hold on. It's $39.99.
I think so.
It's the latter, $39.99.
Okay, there
Sorry.
you go. That's interesting though. And in regards to all these ports, like, do you guys think ports are a good thing? Because
I mean, they sell.
What?
They sell. So
They
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, not good from Nintendo's standpoint, but good from like our standpoint, like a gamer standpoint.
It
You can
depends.
have a Wii U.
Yeah, it depends on who you are. If you were an adopter of the Wii U console, you spent the however many dollars the game cost on that system, and then you find out later, oh man, they're porting in another. They're porting this game. I've already played it. I mean, they did that with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Now they added, you know, a new mode to the game, which, you know, is unique to that specific release. But
they did.
You know, people have thought, well, you know, Nintendo. There's two benefits. One, the benefit is Nintendo is recouping some of the loss from the Wii U console. Obviously, the Wii U console did not sell very well, so by releasing it on the Switch, which, you know, is doing really, really well, you know, they can you know, recoup some of that loss there. And on the second, you know, adopter or people who did not adopt the Wii U console, who did not play the game on that console, now they can play it on their Nintendo Switch, which they already own. So it does have its merits, but, you know, for those who bought, you know, the previous console, they feel kind of, you know, let down.
Yeah, like ripped off. Not ripped off.
I got a question for you. Yeah, I don't know if you know the number off your top of your head, but do you know roughly how many people bought the Wii U?
13.5 million.
Okay, so it was a decent amount, but and then roughly what's the Nintendo Switch at? We don't know yet.
It's already surpassed.
It's at 17.4 million, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. The Wii U sold like the Dreamcast essentially.
Yeah. Okay. And it was also out for a while. I mean, the Nintendo Switch is still so new.
in its first year of sales, it already surpassed the Wii U.
Yeah, it only took the Switch a year to get to what the Wii U took 4 years to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So there's probably a decent number of people who didn't have the Wii U.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So.
But I also feel like all the ports. I mean, like down the line, like it's really not gonna matter because everyone just it'll be new people down the line for sure. But I feel like right now, well, maybe not like right now, but like in the first year, probably the early adopters of the Switch, I would think probably had a Wii U. I mean, obviously there are exceptions like you, Relyea, and I don't know, other people. John, did you have a Wii U?
I did.
Yeah.
I didn't really turn it on much, but I did have it. Yeah.
The other thing
whenever a good first party game came out, that's about it.
Yeah, same.
The other thing about all these ports is that they're charging like full price for them.
I know.
So even if I did want it, it's like, that came out like 3 or 4 years ago, and if I wanted to play it, maybe I would have played it back then. There's no rush for me to play the new Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. I'll play that in my own time. There's so many good new games that are coming out, and so many indie games, and etc. I can wait for a price drop.
That one released $10 more than it was when it first came out on the Wii U.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a good game, but yeah, I mean, it's like $20 on the Wii U now, so
yeah,
it'll probably drop on the Switch eventually.
I'll wait.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
It's a good game. Yeah, if they released it at 40, I'd have been like, yeah, okay, that's a good price for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, people still bought it. It sold well, so
yeah.
Yeah. John, do you think a Switch dock with a more powerful CPU, like well, I mean, the dock doesn't have a CPU in it, but like,
yeah.
It's just a bridge between the Switch and the,
right.
television.
It's basically like a glorified HDMI port. But, well, actually, I mean, like, would it be possible, like, to somehow put a CPU in the dock? And like,
I don't know how possible that is. The problem is no one really knows how possible it is. I guess they could. I mean, I don't want to say they can't and then they do, but I guess they could. An add-on thing would be just so much easier to sell to people, because then you don't need to buy it rather than release a whole nother Switch. Although I just want a whole nother Switch, but
yeah,
I know there's people that would rather just buy the dock or not buy the dock.
Yeah, a Switch, a slimmer Switch, or a Switch Pro, or whatever you want to call it, I guess. I mean, they're.
I would spend quite a bit of money if they came out with a Switch that was like much more powerful. I would spend upwards of $500 for it.
Yeah,
I would buy it too.
I mean, I bought an Xbox One X day one when it came out, so
I would probably want it, but I don't know if I would actually buy it.
All right, I hate to do this. I have to take off. My wife and baby are waiting for me to go swimming. It's just one of those things. Gotta do family time. Not that I don't want to do it. I love the family, so
no problem.
I just hate to leave a little bit early. So
this is probably a good stopping point anyway.
Yeah,
we're at 7 minutes.
I would say it probably is, because John, you probably have to go too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry to keep you over, but
oh no, it's fine. It's fine.
All right. So I think it is. It probably is a good stopping point right here, just because taking this question from the chat. But anyway, yeah, so thank you guys all so much for watching, and thank you James, John, and Relyea for joining me today. James, where can everyone find you?
You guys can find me at on YouTube. Just search Super Live with James Clark on YouTube, or you can follow me on Twitter. It's James Clark at Super Live Gaming. We also have a Discord server, so if you guys want to join that, we started taking invites on our Discord server as well. So, yeah, Discord, YouTube, and Twitter. You guys can follow me there. And
let me see here, James. Do you want to just drop your link in the chat, because I have the bot run. Well, I could turn on the bot. Hold on, and then you can.
No, that's okay.
No, I can. It just takes like 1 second. But anyway, John, where can they find you?
You can just search SpawnWave. You'll see me.
SpawnWave.
He comes right up.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, he definitely.
The YouTube algorithm has served him well.
Yes.
That's true. And then yeah, James, if you just type in the chat, soon-ish, hopefully. Really,
oh wow, you just got a $2 donation from
very
Frank.
awesome.
Right,
Oh.
hashtag Brandon.
Oh. That's my donation sound. Yeah, hashtag Fran and Frank in the chat, everyone. Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, thank you so much for that, Frandon. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And Relyea, where can they find you?
You can find me youtube.com/Relyea Gaming. It's RELYEA Gaming. Yeah. I'm also on Instagram. That one's Hell Yeah Relyea, and Twitter as well. So Relyea is just a family name. It's just my last name, so RELYEA. And I think that's pretty much it. Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Yeah.
And you all know where to find me. You can find me here. We do pretty much daily live streams. Starting around like 2 p.m. Pacific ish, around then, and go for just go for like 6-7 hours. It's fine. But yeah, so James, if you want to type in the chat, it should just auto shout you out because I made your command. Anyway.
Oh, I appreciate that. Oh, I'll just save it for another time. How's that?
Oh, well, just so everyone knows where they can find you, I guess. But
oh, no, that's okay.
Okay, that's fine then.
I appreciate it though.
Okay. Yes. So James and I are actually going to be doing a dual stream in about an hour of Mario Kart 8. So be on the lookout for that. It'll be on both our channels. We'll be doing a dual stream. So that'll be good. And yeah, I guess we'll see everyone later. Thank you so much, Relyea, James, and John, for joining me today. And I guess.
Yeah, thank you. It was a blast. Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, Kazoo.
Yep. Yeah, I'm so
great
glad.
to see you, John. Great to see you, Relyea. Have a good night.
Yep.
See you guys.
Take care, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good night, everyone.